This is Leah. She's deciding whether or not to go to university. Leah thinks the additional future income from attending university outweighs her tuition fees, so she decides to enroll. Other students in Leah's position consider their marginal private benefit and cost of attending university. Eventually, the number of people who decide to enroll is QP, where marginal private benefit exactly balances marginal private cost. The remainder enters the workforce. Let's take one step back. Did all these students make the right choice? Unlikely. Some might have underestimated their private benefit of attending university. For instance, they might not have known that networking in university opens doors to lucrative jobs. This imperfect information causes the actual marginal private benefit to exceed the marginal private benefit perceived by students. This then leads to an underconsumption of university education. We'll come back to this term later. After 4 decades of debate, there is a consensus amongst economists that ceteris paribus, Leah's actual private benefit of each additional year of education is an 8 to 12% increase in her wage every year. In addition to this private benefit, education also generates positive externalities. In the case of university education, the two main externalities are technological progress and higher productivity. We'll examine the latter. Leah going to university naturally boosts her productivity. That's why she earns more than Tom, her non-graduate colleague. But interestingly, research shows that Leah going to university increases Tom's productivity too. One reason is that Leah and Tom share knowledge and skills when they interact in the office, and these learning opportunities enhance their productivity. Another reason is that firms purchase physical capital in anticipation of the average human capital of their future employees. Since physical and human capital are complements, a more educated labour force incentivizes increased investment in physical capital. However, because of labour market imperfection, firms might hire workers with fewer skills than they expected. For instance, they might hire Tom because they did not know Leah was looking for a job. Nonetheless, with more physical capital in the firm, Tom's productivity is higher than it would have been. One method to measure this externality involves comparing the wages of workers in cities with different levels of university graduates. One study found that a percentage point increase in the number of college graduates raised the wages of high school dropouts, high school graduates, and college graduates by 1.9%, 1.6%, and 0.4% respectively. Now that we have identified and measured the externality, we need to study its impact. The presence of positive externality raises marginal social benefit above the actual marginal private benefit. Ideally, QS people would go to university, such that marginal social benefit exactly balances marginal social cost. However, because individuals have imperfect information about their private benefit, and because they disregard the positive externality, only QP individuals decide to go to university, such that their perceived marginal private benefit equals their marginal private cost. Had QPQS more people attended university, the additional benefit society would have gained would have exceeded the additional cost. This deadweight loss represents an underconsumption of university education. Economic welfare is not maximized, and market failure has occurred. Beyond these two causes, underconsumption also results from distributional problems. In reality, not everyone who is willing to attend university is financially able to do so. Thus, the actual demand for university education might be lower than the desirable demand, resulting in underconsumption. University education is a merit good. To encourage more people to pursue higher education, Germany takes the approach of free provision. This, however, poses a heavy financial burden on the government, so many opt for other methods. Governments might organize school programs to correct students' imperfect information, raising their perceived marginal private benefit. They might also offer subsidies to lower individuals' marginal private costs, such that the reduced marginal private cost equals individuals' actual marginal private benefit, and QS people go to university. However, imperfect information on the extent of this externality means that underconsumption isn't always entirely removed. Governments could also offer too much subsidies, leading to overconsumption. In conclusion, because imperfect information derails decisions, personal pursuit promotes productivity, and finite funds obstruct opportunity, underconsumption arises in the market for university education.